Tim Pancakes.
Hello everybody, Tim Pancakes here, and I am building an apartment for two girlfriends who live together, Camden Serrano and Mack Warren, who we see on the screen here. They were living together in Mack's small one-bedroom apartment, which was really poorly decorated, so I decided to move them into 20 Culpepper, is it Avenue? House, 20 Culpepper House, which is a really large apartment, and I can't remember if there were different Sims living here. I want to say this was where Rasoya and his mother, I don't remember their first names, but the Rasoya family lived here, I believe. He's an aspiring chef, lives with his mom. I don't really play with them, so I moved them out and coveted their apartment. So this is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It's a pretty huge place. I like the floor plan I came up with. I really wanted all of those windows to kind of fill the kitchen and living, the living space. But it was hard, I realized, to have so many windows in one room just because of how many window treatments I end up having to use. So that looks a little busy. But I do like this layout where 2 of the bedrooms get windows, and then that 3rd bedroom the girls use as an office, so they don't really need any windows, and I kind of figure that maybe Mack likes it dark, so she can just kind of turn off the lights and just have the glow of her gaming computer screen or something like that. So anyway, I really had a good time with this build. I built this apartment months ago, and I've just had the footage sitting on my computer waiting to be edited, and I just haven't really had, the energy or the motivation, or I've had other things that I wanted to do, and I kind of figured, okay, I really need to get this apartment done and posted. So yeah, this is from maybe 2 months ago. I'm not entirely sure. But to tell you a little bit about the girls, they both actually have been featured on this channel already. These are Sims that I play in my offline gameplay. And I did a speed cast video of Camden, and then Mack was showcased during Tim's Sims in June of 2020 for the LGBT, basically for Pride Month. I was highlighting my LGBT Sims. So Mack is a lesbian and Camden is her girlfriend. And so they moved in together into Mack's old apartment, and I didn't really play much there just because it was really an awful apartment. I did a terrible job of decorating it, and the floor plan was bad, and it just looked awful, and then moving a second sim in, it was just a nightmare. And plus it was an apartment that broke down all the time. So I moved them out, and it's actually the unit that I did my young actress studio apartment speed build in a few weeks ago. So that's that unit, and now Mack and Camden are here and have much more space, and it's a very large apartment. And I really tried to fill it without it being too cluttered, but I also didn't want it to be, I didn't want vast, huge rooms. And I feel like that entry into the dining area still, maybe I could have done a little bit better, but it's fine. It works. And you could always, I probably could have fit a 4th bedroom, but it's just the 2 of them. I didn't really need there to be a 4th bedroom. So I'm working on the living room now, and I think in my last video I talked about how I've realized my building style tends to be like this, where I find an item and just go and drop it willy-nilly into whatever room, and so I end up building like 5 rooms at once, and that's just really chaotic with the camera, so I do apologize for that. But I'm going to be more mindful in the future about building 1 room at a time. And so anyway, I guess here, part of the reason that I'm all over the place, though, is that since I moved them out of an old apartment into this one, they had a household inventory. So I was actually going through the inventory and getting rid of stuff I didn't want to keep and keeping stuff that I did. So that's why I was kind of flying all over the place, and now I'm actually in the catalog and designing the house from scratch. I decided I really wanted to try to merge their 2 styles, so that it was truly both of their apartments. I didn't want it to feel like it was super Mack and Camden was moving in, or vice versa. So I, with the public spaces here, I went with the brick walls. I always love to do that in my apartment builds, but a lot of bright colors. So like there's that nice reddish orangish wallpaper, and then the bright yellow counters. I thought, that's something that Camden would have seen maybe on their apartment walkthrough and decided, oh, this is fantastic. We need to move in here, because Camden is very artistic and creative and bold. And I think, I talked about it in my Cass video of her, but she's kind of my every woman. Like, I thought of maybe 5 or 6 people in my life as I was creating her. And so she's got it all. She's sassy and she's confident and she has her own distinct style and she apologizes to nobody. And, but she's not annoying and she's not overbearing, and she's just, I don't know, I love her. And then Mack is a bit quieter, a bit more subdued. Mack is also pretty confident in her own skin, but she's a bit more timid and she's not as outgoing or maybe as in your face with her personality as Camden is. And so she's happy to let Camden kind of have the spotlight and speak for them and make decisions. And she's she'll go along to get along, and she'll speak up if she feels like she needs to, but overall she's pretty easygoing. And so she was fine to let her Mack was fine to let Camden pick this nice bright apartment, because all she really needs is a computer desk and her own space to veg out and get away. So I have moved on into the living area. Kind of made it a little cozy. And again, I was trying to not get too colorful, because I mean, if this was Camden's apartment alone, I probably would have had all sorts of wild, crazy things. But, Mack is pretty sensible and reasonable, and so I definitely tried to tone it down in some areas, like getting rid of that bright couch and, going with the white version of the one that stayed, that kind of thing. So it's definitely, I think, a pretty good mix of both of their personalities. And again, I do apologize for how much jumping around the camera does. I think it was after this video that I realized, oh shoot, I do that a lot. So like I said, I'll be more mindful in the future. I have played in the apartment a little bit since making it and moving them in and everything, partially because I wanted to play test and make sure everything works okay, but also just after building it, I was really excited to actually start playing these characters, because I hadn't really played them much. I was playing other families and other storylines, so it was nice to return to them and kind of start the relationship off. I feel like maybe they've been dating for a few months. They met, they waited a little while to start dating, and then they finally started dating, and then after a few months, maybe Mack's apartment lease was up, or Camden's apartment lease was up, so she moved in with Mack, and then that apartment lease was up, so they decided to find their own place, since they were like, hey, this is all working out pretty well. However, they both do still have their own individual bedrooms, so A, that I can really try to highlight both of their personalities, and B, I think it's important for an individual to have their own space to get away. And I think that doesn't change just because you enter a relationship. So I personally think it's healthy and smart and all sorts of good things when a couple has their own individual bedrooms. They can still, sleep over in one or whatever, but to be able to have your own getaway space, I think is important. So I do have 2 separate bedrooms because the girls are kind of new into their relationship. And just in case something happens, that way they each have their own room. And then the office is a shared space. And I would say that just like the living room and kitchen and everything are more so Camden with touches of Mack, that this office is mostly Mack with touches of Camden. We've got the dark purple wallpaper and, like I said, no windows, and we've got all the tech stuff. I think Mack is kind of my techie sim. She's actually kind of inspired by Mack from the TV show Veronica Mars, who, oh gosh, what is her name? Tina something, Majorno or something. She's been in a few different things, but she was Mack in Veronica Mars, and I love that character, and So this, I think, because this Sim's name was Mac, I think I just instinctively and naturally have kind of, I guess, mimicked that tech guru personality a little bit. Even though Mac in Veronica Mars was not a lesbian, as far as I remember. I don't think she was. Um, so anyway, so yeah, Max got her all of her electronic gizmos and gadgets, and then I threw a little colorful, bright, kind of, frou-frou desk with gold and greens and a candle and everything for Camden, just because, she needed her office space too. And then I figured I put that bed in there. I really love using those tiny living fold out couch. What is it called? A Murphy bed. I really love using those Murphy beds in guest rooms because I can have it up as a sofa, but then put it down when there's a guest. And so this room is pretty full, but it does have room for the bed to lay down. And when they don't have a guest, they have it up again and everything. And if they stay together and decide to grow their family and get married and, have kids or something, I figure that this could be a kid's room, or maybe by then they'll decide to move into one room so they can keep their office. But the living space is so large that I could probably find a nook for all the desk stuff. But there's something about, with Mac being a gamer and always online, I think having that privacy is pretty huge too. So this will probably stay protected as an office, especially since there are no windows. What kid wants to have a room with no windows? So, and then that carpet too, if I keep it, like I said, oh, no, I guess I don't keep it. Oh, maybe I do. Okay. Nope, I don't. Okay. Wow. Like I said, I built this a while ago, so I don't really remember all the decisions I made. I think that when I was using that white and black rug, I kind of thought, okay, Camden brought this in, but it wasn't really working. And so I put down that gray one, which I liked, and then I thought maybe I'll give Camden her own rug, but I ended up just doing the gray rug for the whole room and calling it good and whatnot. So, but you see what I mean there? Like, that entryway is just really spacious. I mean, that's a very EA build thing to do, so sorry about that. But oh well. And then in Camden's room, I gave her that accent purple wall on the headboard wall and a lot of bright colors. There's not a whole lot in the bedrooms. I tried to showcase their personalities with the color choices and everything, but there's not a lot of furniture, like a bed and a dresser, and that's it. Partially because, they have the whole apartment, so I can spread their stuff out. And then things that, if I didn't have the office, I'd probably put that stuff in their rooms, but I had the office, so I didn't really need to clutter up the bedrooms anymore. Another thing that I was doing and trying to be mindful of is when they moved in, they had the budget. Like, however much money they had in the household funds is the money that I used for this apartment, because I really felt like realistically, they would move in and then whatever money they had, they can furnish it with. But when I run out of money, I run out of money. And so that's another reason that I told myself, okay, well, I'll limit myself in the bedrooms. But then when I finished, I still had plenty of money. Like, I had thousands of dollars left. So, money really goes a lot farther in apartments just because you're not paying for walls and windows. And so you really can, especially with these large units, fill them up, and $20,000 goes a long way. And since I think I don't remember what the amount was, but I'm pretty sure when they moved in together, they had about $56,000 between Camden bringing in her money and money that Mac had already saved. So anyway, I was able to really stretch the budget and had money left over, which was nice. And I like this apartment. I think that it is nice and colorful and it shows their personalities. I think that there's room for them to grow. Oh, and I'm at the end. Oh, no, I'm not. I was just checking something. Okay, I got distracted. I'm like, I'm not over yet, am I? So, but it is coming up here. But anyway, I was going to say that it's a big apartment, and it's just the two of them, so there's definitely room for them to grow. Maybe they'll adopt a whole bunch of kids or something like that. So we will have to see what the world has in store for them. So I think now I'm just kind of going through and touching up everything with adding additional clutter and making it look a little bit more lived in. Of course, as I'm watching back, and even when I start actually playing in these builds, I always make slight tweaks and adjustments, and it's like, oh man, I wish I'd done that before I uploaded it. But, we're always our worst critic and everything. So, I mean, I don't really love how all those counters look so cluttered up and everything. I don't know. I think kitchens are probably still an area that I could work on as a builder, but yeah, and I just, like I said, it's so open. I kind of wish maybe I had done something slightly different there, but it was hard with this unit with all those windows to come up with a floor plan. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really seen this in a couple months, so it's fun watching it back again and remembering how I did everything. As every other builder says, I wish we had different or more options for our counters. I mean, I like the ones we have and everything, but I just kind of feel like, I would love to have more. I think more beds and more counters and cabinets would be fantastic. You have to let me know down below if Camden and Mack do grow their family and everything. What are some kid names that you would suggest for them? I'd be very curious to know. Yeah, I kind of realized all these windows were open and I felt like I should have some sort of window treatments, but if I did the same one on all of them, it would look weird, and then mixing them up, it kind of looked weird too. So I kind of I tweaked it a little bit. I tried to go with neutral colors and only a little bit of bright color, but it still kind of looks a little weird to me. So let me know what you think about the windows too. I'd be very curious to know. Okay, yeah, the kitchen's coming together a little bit better now that I'm doing some adjustments. I said I don't really like how that looks, and it's getting better. So I really wanted to keep that because that was from their date. So I was wanting to find a way to put that somewhere. Yeah, this room just looks really empty too with that little rinky-dink mirror and everything, but I liked it. I thought Camden would really like that mirror, and you can't really size up or anything mirrors, unfortunately, so yeah, I'm just trying to fill in the space a little bit to make it look like a better entry. And some more lights. I like that rug too. I mean, I think it's a really bright apartment, and it's something the girls really enjoy. I have had fun playing in it, and it's been a minute. Maybe I'll go back. Oh, I have to go back in because I'm gonna go in and take the screenshots for this video. Still, I haven't done that yet, so I'll have to go in and do the screenshots. And I want to say I built this right after Nifty Knitting because I do know that I put a rocking chair in Camden's room, because I thought maybe Camden would be a knitter too. She does everything else. And so I added a rocking chair, and that was the first time I'd ever used anything from the Nifty Knitting pack. So that was kind of fun. I feel like maybe I still don't really even know Mack. Like, there's a lot of interesting choices that I'm making. I'm really happy with how the office looks, but the bedroom, I'll probably need to make some changes to Mack's room as I play her more. But for now, for everyone to download this on the gallery, it's fine. And this is available on the this is available on the gallery for download. I think I called it Girlfriend's Apartment. No, I didn't. I just called it the name of the apartment, 20 Culpepper House. 20 Culpepper House. So you can find this through my EAID, which is Toyd05. That is also listed in the description down below if you're interested in seeing some of my other builds. But you can definitely download this if you would like to for 20 Culpepper House. And so yeah, I'm wrapping up. Like I said, I'm just kind of going through and touching up some of the spaces that could use a little bit more care, and I'm going to sign off here and go and take some screenshots. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this build and would like to watch others, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing additional speed builds, and I am also working on a series where I'm doing game retrospectives for the entire Sims 4 series. So I'm already working on my next game review, and that should be up in the next week or so. Thank you so much for watching, and that's a stack.